Hey, there's two things I want to show you here. Cops are so cowardly and scummy. In this first one right here, a Rochester police officer is going to sue a man that the officer punched but broke his thumb on. You can't make this stuff up. Check this out.
The body camera video shows that Hall shoved a police officer. Then he's tackled to the ground. And as a group of officers are trying to handcuff him, one of them punches him in the head twice, breaking his thumb. And that officer is now suing Anthony Hall.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. You gotta leave. You
don't
gotta
touch
leave.
me though.
Police were trying to get Anthony Hall to leave the apartment of an ex-girlfriend.
Dude, like I'm burglarizing. Stop touching me.
Yo, stop getting close to us. How about that?
The body camera video shows they were about to arrest him, but gave Hall one more chance to leave. And then this happened.
I'm going this way.
Are we going that way? Then go ahead. Go ahead. That way. This way.
Yo, you got it. Stay down.
Police
So they gang tackled him because, again, they're cowards.
tackled Hall. When he tried to get to his knees, Officer Jeffrey Mert punched him twice.
Put your hands behind your back.
In his lawsuit, Officer Mert says it was Hall's careless, negligent, and/or reckless and/or intentional acts that caused Mert to get hurt.
You caused my thumb to get hurt because I punched you in the head while all of my buddies held you down. That's how evil and ridiculous they are. And this right here comes from a new channel called Wisconsin Watcher. Check this out. If you ever see a sign like this in a public building, it is not in accordance with the law. It is not in accordance with your First Amendment right to film things that you can see in public. And besides that, you are providing a public service to all these public officials in these public buildings and to the community when you can demonstrate that, hey, I've got my camera out and they're saying that they have private information on public desks that can be publicly viewed by any member of the public, including people with nefarious intentions. Check this out.
Office, it says you can't record or tape a photograph. It's strictly prohibited, no laws. This is a Veterans Service Office. We're in Columbia County, Wisconsin. And here at the Veterans Office, it says you can't record or tape a photograph. It's strictly prohibited, no laws.
Sir, you're not allowed to do that in here.
I'm
There's a
not?
sign right here. See? Recording, taping, photographing.
Is that a law?
Can you imagine? Sir, you're not allowed to drink from that fountain. It says right here, whites and coloreds. You know, you can't drink from that fountain because the sign says.
Prohibited.
Is it? Who's it prohibited by?
The county commissioner, I'll ask you to step out, please.
Is there? There's no.
Sir, please
There's
step
no
out.
law on there.
Please step out.
There's no law on
Do
the sign.
I would prefer not to get law enforcement involved.
And even if there was a law, every law that's repugnant to the Constitution is supposed to be viewed as null and void, according to Marbury versus Madison, 1803.
It's a public area right here.
No, it's not.
No, it's not, sir.
I need you to leave.
This is a public. You have
No, sir.
pamphlets,
Please.
It's not a public area.
It's posted.
It's posted there.
right? But there's no law.
It's posted there.
It doesn't need to have a
It's
law.
not, there's sensitive information in this room that cannot be photographed. Please step out.
Where, behind your desk?
Please step
Matters
out.
not where.
Tammy,
Step
I'm
out.
gonna call.
Go ahead. Please step out.
Well, there's no law on there.
It matters not whether there's a law. It's
Matters not. It matters not. This is the go-to phrase from this woman right here. Anybody smell onions around here?
posted that you cannot do that.
Can you post that you don't like a green hat or
Sure.
a gray hat?
Why not?
Really? How about if I was black?
I don't care whether you're black, purple, yellow, or orange, sir.
What I'm saying is, could you put a sign on there that
What
says
I-
you don't
911, where's your emergency? At the administration building. Okay, what's going on? We have a sign.
I love that he FOIA requested the 911 call as he's talking to office worker Tammy here.
Posted that there's no photography. This was put up by the court counsel on our front door because we have sensitive information in our office. And we have a guy in here who's insisting on taking pictures and causing a ruckus. And which office?
They're admitting they have sensitive information in publicly accessible areas within a public office.
Veteran
So
service.
it's- so it's
Veteran
the
service.
photograph.
All right. Okay, give me one moment.
See our sign?
That's a request,
Please leave, sir.
and I'm going to
please.
I'm going to respectfully
And
decline.
I'm going to respectfully ask you to leave again so that we don't have to involve law enforcement.
And what law would they be enforcing?
Matters not.
It doesn't matter.
Matters not.
Matters not.
All right. And is he still there? Yes. Tammy, my assistant, is asking him to leave, and he refuses. Okay.
Tammy.
Not law enforcement officers need to.
Please leave.
Don't law enforcement officers need to enforce laws?
Matters not.
If it's illegal, then you're illegal.
I'm outside my office.
I'm just listening to the
Please leave.
So I can stand outside and
Yes, please.
go through the window?
Okay. And then what is he wearing?
Showing the stuff?
He is wearing a plaid shirt, gray shorts, like a tannish colored socks, looks like
Step outside.
gray Crocs. He's got a tan hat on, ponytail,
They're just dirty.
sunglasses on his hat.
Is there a point to this?
Well, I'm a journalist and I'm just journalizing this.
Okay. All right. And do you know his name by any chance? I don't.
I have a First Amendment right to be in here and to photograph. It's a public.
I can get him, actually.
This is a public lobby.
3 just for 43. It sounds like the male will be wearing a plaid shirt, gray
There's
shorts.
no law.
He does have a
It says I can't
ponytail
photograph
and a tan hat on.
it. It has to be a law.
All right. Okay. And he's still there, right? Yes. Okay. Is he being confrontational? He's still. He won't leave. He's insisting on taking pictures of places in our office. Okay. It's posted on the door that there's because it's not. The entire office is not a public office. It's a public building, but not ours. Right. Okay. All right. And I do have Officer en route.
Former military. Constitutional right.
They're running code 3 on this.
First Amendment allows a person to be in here and to take pictures.
Guys, there's a man with a camera in a public office taking photos and videos of publicly accessible things. You got to get there right now.
This is a public office. I have the right, if you want to violate my First Amendment rights,
Matters not.
What's your mission here? What are you doing?
that doesn't matter. I'm a journalist, and I'm collecting information for a story.
Okay. Do you
About
have an ID on you?
Now, why would you want to ID me?
I like to know who I'm chatting with.
Okay, and you are?
I'm Officer Sprague, Portage Police Department.
Okay. And you?
Sergeant Newman, Portage Police Department.
Do you have a badge number?
Badge number 3.
Number 1.
You're the chief?
I am not. Sergeant Newman, badge.
I don't know where the eerie music is coming from. I didn't add that. It's kind of strange.
Number 1.
Oh, Sergeant number 1. Okay. A lot of times the number 1 is the chief.
It usually is, but our numbering system's different.
Well, I'm just exercising my First Amendment rights. And really, if I had come in here and these women had just said, "Hey, how you doing?" I would have just looked around and, and then I would have left. But they seem to think that a sign on the door is a law, but it's not. This is a public office. There are informations right here that people can come in and get.
3 were tattooed and counted.
And I'm not breaking any laws.
So where have you just been in this area?
Just here. Oh, I would never go back there.
Okay.
That's, even though it's not posted, it's obviously private offices. And I wouldn't go behind her desk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So had you been recording?
Yeah, I've been recording this stuff. Yep.
Okay.
I looked at the Christmas tree and all that. And I got this down here.
Are you guys familiar with First Amendment auditors?
Yes. That's why that sign got put up there.
There's not a law.
They're familiar with First Amendment auditors and they put the sign up anyway, and she's deciding to enforce it in light of the fact that she knows about First Amendment auditors, and you can't do that. Listen to what she confesses to here.
Enforce on that.
Because there's personal information on that desk.
On your has
On
all three desks.
On all 3 desks.
Our desks
The
and
reason
yours.
that's not considered a public area is because there's personal information involved in this whole thing. In all of our desks, confidential, social security numbers, banking information, medical information.
Where on the desks?
So they put all this private information that people are entrusting them with in publicly accessible areas where anybody could come in and memorize a bank statement or an account number or a social security number. So basically what they're saying is if we move all of this private information to any public area, then nobody has the right to record there. You could do that in a courtyard. You could do that on a sidewalk. Here, look, I put all these private documents on a sidewalk. Now you automatically can't record there. That's not how that works. If somebody entrusts you with their private information, then you need to go to great extents to keep it private. Don't stick it out in the public domain where some nefarious individual could snatch it and put it online and then compromise somebody's identity.
I mean, it's behind the desk, so he hasn't been over there, but because there's no barrier, that is why they don't
The reason he wasn't
it.
behind there is because I stopped him from going there.
Okay.
I said, no, sir, I want you to leave now.
Okay.
I'd prefer you not photograph in here. There's a sign posted. Oh, no, I don't have to listen to you.
Okay.
I said, I'd prefer not to
Court
get law
counsel doesn't
enforcement.
consider that a public area. The hallway's a public area. Our office is not a public area. It's accessible to the public.
Then it's got to be locked.
You can't do that either.
Then it's public access.
Wow, $41.75 an hour, no way. Nearly $90,000 a year. Not only to be this ignorant of American rights, but also to jeopardize the private information of people who entrusted her to keep that information private.
I mean, I hate to say it, but it's going to be public access.
I hate to say it. It's so unfortunate, but it's public access, and unfortunately, we have to protect people's rights to record in public. There's always this apology that goes along with people exerting their rights on the part of law enforcement. Always.
So, unfortunately, this is becoming more and more of a common practice
there you
with
go.
First Amendment auditors that they're going to push the limits, and they know what the limits are that they can push.
I figured.
So
The only people pushing the limits here are the people who are entrusted to keep private information private, putting it out in the public domain where anybody could record it or memorize it.
he's not technically a violation of anything. Sign that's up there that's essentially the county's wanting is not enforceable by law. So, and he knows that, and he's going to push the button if you guys push that button.
But if it was enforceable by law, we would definitely enforce it. You know why? Because we're order followers, and we don't care about people's rights. All we care about is the orders that are delivered to us from our political parasites. We obey them. We don't protect rights.
We can make sure when we'll hang out while he finishes up that he doesn't go behind the desks, but
I can stand out there and make sure.
Okay, there's not a whole lot more I don't think that we're really going to be able to do.
Okay.
I would highly recommend though that if there's private information though, it needs.
I mean, we keep it, well, of course, we keep these shut and locked when we're not in them. And she keeps her stuff in folders, so it's not like blaringly sitting
Right,
out.
but if there's stuff out there that has public or private information on it, it shouldn't probably be out there.
So basically, she lied. She's backtracking on that. She was trying to make it sound like, okay, I'm gonna frame this in such a way where the officer's gonna have to do something. He's gonna have to kick this guy out of the office. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell him that I keep private information in the public domain. That's why he shouldn't be in here. Yeah, that'll get the law enforcement to do my bidding. And then she backs off on it. You're making stuff look real bad, ma'am. Real bad.
We don't really have a choice.
I understand that, but
everything we do has private information on it.
Corp counsel.
Every single thing we do.
Corp counsel is going to have to, I guess, figure something out because this is going to become a more and more of a frequent practice as people try to do this. But we'll hang out.
Do you think making $86,000 a year off of the back of the American tax cattle in that area, she would be a nicer person? She would be an accommodating person. She'd be a friendly person. She'd deliver a personalized experience for anybody who came to that office where when they left, they'd be like, you got to visit this public office. This lady is a stellar example of world-class service to all the people that she serves. She is worth let's give her a raise. She needs more than $86,000. But no, she's demonstrating that she has a lower social IQ than a fry cook at the local McDonald's.
Make sure that things don't escalate any further and that he doesn't go behind the desks and things like that.
Okay.
Is that right? And I think any reasonable person would understand that, you don't go over into those offices because those are private offices.
So basically what they've asked for is, because the desk here
workspace type thing, not typically public accessible. Public doesn't have the right to that. They just have that you not go behind there, record anything that's on the desk that could be private information.
I never would anyway. I understand that there are private, like tax records, those are all public.
Did you see the cop twitch? The cop twitch. I don't know if it's because they're readjusting the vest or whatever, but when they get uncomfortable and they're starting to face something, maybe they're lying. Maybe there's something going on internally that they don't want you to see. It always comes out in the cop twitch. Watch this.
Private information.
I never would anyway. I understand that there are private, like tax records, those are all public. And if I happen to get something in the tax office, it's all public. Mm-hmm. I can look that up online. How much, I can find out, a lot of times you guys don't have your houses in trust. You can look up a police officer, find out how much taxes he pays. You can look up anybody. Mm-hmm. And I was a private investigator for many years. So
all we're asking is that the recordings are held to the common area, which you seem well aware of.
Okay.
What everything is and what the common and public areas are.
Okay.
And then obviously not going into any of the offices.
All right.
Do you have intentions of going to any of the other offices?
Oh, I went in a couple. No, not really. I actually came in. You were in the other room, but I told him I actually came in specifically because the sign was on the door that says you can't photograph. And I know that that's an illegal sign.
Okay.
So I know that the county doesn't have any ruling over that, but I'm going to contact the Veterans Administration and have that sign taken down.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're
okay.
well within your right to do so. Absolutely.
Thank you, and I'm going to be gone.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Take care, guys.
This was the Wisconsin Watcher. I will leave his link in the description and the pinned comment. Visit him and let him know how you think he did. And if you want, let him know here's the deal sent you. If you like these videos, maybe you'll like some of my others. Check out my most popular videos playlist. There's probably something on there that you haven't seen yet. And if you watch it, make sure you leave a comment. It really gets the
algorithmic juices flowing.
If you want to support the channel further, like this video, share this video, subscribe, hit the bell, grab a shirt, and definitely become a channel member. And I will see you in the next video. If you're going to be found guilty of anything today, make sure you're found guilty of being excellent. Take care.